So a judge is now blocking Trump and Musk from speeding up deportations. That's the subject of today's video. And when I first heard the news, the thing I instantly thought of was the internment camps in the USA back in World War II. I want to go over this stuff and let's jump right in. You'll see what I'm talking about. Judge orders halt on deportations of Venezuelans under wartime law. So we're invoking an old law to round up people of a particular descent, in this case, Venezuelans. Judge blocks Trump after he invokes Wartime Alien Enemies Act to speed up deportations. You can do this kind of stuff if we're at time of war. But again, this is something that we haven't done since World War II. And that was when Americans were rounding up people of Japanese descent and putting them in internment camps. You also have this Border Patrol grabs Venezuelan parents in D.C. despite protected status. And this is the order by Trump. Again, this is on a weekend, on an odd hours. That's sort of when they do these shady things. Invocation of the Alien Enemies Act regarding the invasion of the United States by Tren de Aragua. So I guess the idea that Trump would say, oh, we're under attack. Some sort of gang is attacking us, and then if you look a certain way, we can arrest you and deport you. Essentially, what they're ignoring people's civil rights because some people are claiming I'm not part of that gang that you're saying is attacking the USA, and I have a right to a fair hearing. And this is where Trump and Musk will just ignore people's civil rights, and so now there's a fight, and the judge is stepping in because people do have a right to a fair hearing. Another headline here, Donald Trump invokes controversial 1700s wartime law used to justify Japanese internment camps. This is the stuff that Musk is tweeting out right now. There's multiple things happening right now in the world, so I just want to make sure that try to put it all together. 43 minutes ago, Elon Musk is tweeting out, you can't truly call yourself, quote, peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. If you're not capable of violence, you're not peaceful, you're harmless, important distinction. So that's what Musk is tweeting out. He's also, so there's a picture of someone in armor feeding a cat. Musk also tweets out a picture of his kid. And Elon asks the kid, what should I do? The kid says, save America, help Trump. But you have to remember, these are the same kind of people who are mishandling your data. This is part of the Doge stuff that just came out also yesterday. Told you guys about it. A Doge staffer broke Treasury policy by emailing unencrypted personal data. And then today, which actually, full disclosure, because I've mentioned this before on the channel, my wife's sister works for the VOA. She's a journalist, so it's Voice of America. Trump hates journalists. Voice of America journalists put on administrative leave after Trump axes his parent agency. And then you also have Trump attacking lawyers. Trump escalates fight with big law firms targeting Paul Weiss. I have to go through all this stuff because you have to put everything in context so that you understand that the kind of things that Trump and Musk are up to. I don't say this quite often, and I know some people say it more quickly than I do, but I'll just say it does. All these things put together sound similar to stuff that was pulled in the 1930s Germany. And like I said, I don't say this stuff all the time because I don't want to escalate things more than they are. But I mean, I can read, I know my history, I can see what Trump and Musk are doing, and especially when you do things again at odd hours, try to skirt the law and try to do things as fast as possible, and that's sort of what their plan is. I guess we're also bombing people now in the Middle East. And Trump is tweeting out the stuff, or this is Trump tweeting, and then Musk retweets it, right? Your time is up, talking about the Houthis. And Musk tweets this out 9 hours ago. Department of Propaganda everywhere, dope. I don't know. I mean, you have to put this stuff together. It's like, it's hard to navigate the world that we live in. I already know the arguments of Trump and Musk, because basically their arguments is that, oh, that's the president of the United States. You voted for said person, therefore they have all the power, and if any court, says, "Hey, you're doing something unconstitutional or illegal," well, what do you mean? I'm president. We're the executive branch. We can do anything that we want. That's the arguments that they make all the time. And again, we're fighting, I guess. This is from the military, and it shows, On March 15th, the U.S. Central Command initiated a series of operations consisting of precision strikes against the Iran-backed Houthis. So, kind of when you do this stuff, I feel like this is a distraction. So you attack a group of people here, and then you distract people from the, again, mass deportations. And the first thing that came to my mind, again, I just want to mention this, was the Japanese internment camps during World War II. And I guess there's people out there that don't know their history, don't understand this stuff, and that's why I'm just showing you images just so you understand this. There was a particular story that really caught my attention regarding this whole thing with Venezuelans. It was a person that they had tattoos, and they were saying, hey, because I had these tattoos, that the Trump people identified me as being part of a dangerous group, but I'm not. Is basically what it boiled down to. So I'll read a little bit that says something like this. It says, so this is from the Justice Department, be the Trump people. Drew Ensign, the lawyer representing the Justice Department, emphasized that the president has broad powers over immigration and foreign policy and urged judge not to intervene in the removals. Quote, most or all of them are incredibly dangerous individuals. That's according to the Trump-Musk people. The American Civil Liberties Union says the men do not have any ties to the criminal group, right? So this is where you get in dispute. Musk and Trump will say, oh, well, all these people that look a certain way or of a certain, racial descent, they're all dangerous people, right? And then the ACLU is like, well, not necessarily. Quote, I think those people are in real trouble, said ACLU lawyer Lee Gellert. During one of the hearings, urging the judge to order the Trump administration to immediately find out where the immigrants are. Quote, there is so much urgency here, and there is so much harm at stake. That refers to the Aliens Enemy Act of 1798. And we're talking about actually, we interned not just Japanese, people of Japanese descent, but also Italian descent and German nationals. This back in World War II era. And it's crazy that, and it also mentions, Marco Rubio is also involved with this stuff, and he's the son of Cuban immigrants. We also have this quote, it's illegal to use this law in peacetime in the absence of invasion by foreign power, which we do not have. And that's coming from a professor from George Mason University. Trump's proclamation said that, quote, all Venezuelan citizens 14 years of age or older, apprehended, restrained, secured, or removed as alien enemies. And I was looking at this, and it was interesting because the language is a little bit particular, right? So this is where the dispute will come in. Trump will say, okay, and I have it right here. It says directly from the White House, based on these findings and by the authority vested in me, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, including 50 USC 21, I proclaim that all Venezuelan citizens 14 age or older who are members of the TDA are within the United States and are not actually naturalized or lawful permanent residents of the United States are liable to be apprehended. Okay, so the basic idea, though, would be like you can, from Trump's point of view, you can claim that all these people are part of whatever gang, and that gang, I guess, is attacking USA, and then you can start rounding up anyone. But that's sort of where this dispute comes in, right? And so then people say, well, no, I'm not necessarily part of that. One of the fundamental principles in the federal and international law is that governments should not deport people to countries where they might be persecuted or even killed. One plaintiff in the lawsuit, a tattoo artist identified as JGG, to protect his safety, said that he had fled Venezuela after being tortured by Venezuelan police and feared he would be killed if deported. But he said he did not have a chance to plead his case before a judge. He said an immigration officer wrongly pegged him as a gang member because of his tattoos. And that's why I mentioned the tattoo thing before. Also says he accused the officers in court records of waking him up at 2 a.m. on March 6th, claiming he was going to be released, and asked him to sign a document in English, so meaning that he may not necessarily understand everything in there because it was in English if he doesn't, speak English fully. He said he ended up in a Texas jail and was about to be transferred elsewhere, but those plans were scuttled because the plane malfunctioned. Though Trump promised during his campaign to use the Alien Enemies Act, mentioned in over 30 rallies. So Trump's been talking about this for a long time, mentioning MS-13 stuff, that kind of thing. And this is also key to understanding the Trump Musk stuff, because Musk will tweet out nonstop that basically effectively what it boils down to from Musk's point of view is like, anyone who looks a certain way, they're all dangerous, and we have to protect the the white people. That's what it ends up being from Musk's point of view. I see this stuff. I don't show you guys all the stuff that Musk says all the time, but that's what it ends up being. Quote, you'll be reading a lot of stories tomorrow about what we've done with them. That's from Trump. The White House published the proclamation Saturday afternoon because the Trump administration has attempted to broadly characterize undocumented immigrants as criminals. So I was mentioning that's what Musk does all day on the social media. Anyone who's looks a certain way and from a certain place, they're all criminals. And Trump will say the same stuff also. Many fear his dragnet could enable the government to sweep innocent people out of the country. Immigrants would not get asylum hearings, right? You want to skirt the law. And the government would not have to prove that they are criminals in a public courtroom, right? So it's all about skirting the law, doing as fast as you can. The judge did step in, though, like I said, and they ordered the plane to turn around. This is an ongoing story. I'm just seeing it now. And again, this is happening on a weekend. So we'll follow this and see the follow-up. And this kind of stuff, you guys already kind of know where the arguments are going to be from different sides. That's why I try to explain it to you fully, and you can understand my point of view on this stuff. And so, I taught history. I taught many subjects, but I did teach history at the university level. So, like I said, immediately I was thinking about the World War II and internment camps in the USA for this kind of stuff, and the stuff that we know that when Trump was elected, the private prison stocks all went up because everyone's expecting that Trump was going to try to, do this kind of stuff. The situation before, why? Because they want to get more funding to the military to use the military assets to speed up deportations. And, how this plays out is essentially going to be, from Musk and Trump point of view, they want to do this sort of blitzkrieg kind of strategy as fast as they can before the law catches up to them. And we'll continue having these conversations. So do appreciate your time, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next video.